As we draw to the end of the semester and this course, our final projects will be a reflection of the objectives learned. Throughout this course, four major objectives were given to be explored within compact learning modules. The learning objectives include the recognition of socio-political nature of education explored in Modules 1 and 3, explanation of key aspects of educational learning theories in Modules 4 and 5, explanation of these key theories with respect to diverse learning populations were analyzed in Modules 3 and 6, and the assessment of how these key foundational theories address diverse learners in Modules 5 and 6. Although each assigned modules addressed specific aspects of the objectives, they collectively created a comprehensive picture that examined the foundational principles of interdisciplinary learning and teaching. Before I address the components of each objective in this course, I would first like to introduce my personal goals and motivation for pursuing a master's degree in my chosen concentration. I am currently pursuing a master's in special education with a concentration in applied behavioral analysis. My goal is to become a licensed behavioral analyst and work with children and adults with autism and related disorders. I optimistically hope to continue with my education after my master's to pursue a doctorate in child psychology with a concentration in autism. I've worked with children with autism for 5 years and have loved every minute. I truly enjoy working with all age groups and being a part of the positive process of teaching behavior modifications. Helping others explore the world around them, learning how to make real connections with others, trying a new hobby, or just simply learning for the first time to tie their shoes is honestly the most satisfying and genuine experiences I have ever had. My concentration of applied behavioral analysis is an interdisciplinary study that draws from education psychology and the learning theories of behavior. Behavior analysis helps us to understand how behavior works, how behavior is affected by the environment, and how learning takes place. Each objective uniquely affects the field of applied behavioral analysis, and my understanding of these objectives will be significant to my success as a student and as a professional after graduation. Now I will begin to discuss each objective in relation to the modules and readings so that I may explain the themes and interpretations for each objective. As I have previously stated, the socio-political nature of education was explored in modules 1 and 3. The theme for Module 1 discusses the historical timeline for education in America from the 19th century to the present and the disparities of financial resources that exist within educational settings. The theme for Module 3 examines the United States educational system in relation to minority groups and how it affects these groups socially, economically, and politically. From the readings in Module 1, I concluded that each author's voice demonstrated a consciousness of how the American school system not only interacts within a historical sociocultural context, but also how interrelationships are affected by the U.S. educational system from an economic standpoint as well. The Module 3 readings promote active stances against these disparities and charge educators with the task of diligent mindfulness regarding the teaching of future students. Sociopolitical factors can play a major role in shaping the environment we live in. As the science of behavior analysis continues to gain cultural popularity, the field of applied behavior analysis will also continue to evolve its developments to appropriately engage in the sociopolitical arena. The second objective explains the key aspects of educational learning theories. These aspects were defined in modules 4 and 5. The theme for Module 4 explores 3 classic learning theories and the practical application of each theory. Module 5 continued the exploration of other significant educational learning theories. An understanding of different learning theories allows educators to be more effective in their instructional methods and in facilitating optimal learning environments. Module 4 concluded an analyzed perspective of learning and development. Each scholar was able to give a concise and substantial information for their theoretical perspectives. Their arguments allowed the reader to develop an understanding of learning and development theories and expound on their own conceived reasonings for the significance of each ideology. Module 5 continued the investigation of several other learning theories that examined the foundational principles of learning and how each theory respectively contributed to the justification of the why and how we learn. Although behavioral analysis is not an educational learning theory per se, every learning theory speaks about how learning is possible. The how in learning is essentially a behavior. The principles of ABA can align and draw significant conclusions from educational learning theories because the behavior of learning is investigated in each learning theory. As a behavioral therapist, I will actively integrate the behavioral learning theory, whose founder, B.F. Skinner, the father of ABA, into my everyday therapy practices and continued research. The third objective of the explanation of key theories with respect to diverse learning populations. These theories were explored by Module 6. Module 6 will explore how the diverse learning population is impacted by teaching methods of the 21st century. The student will learn to apply supportive pedagogies in response to the needs of the diverse learner population of today. My conclusion from Module 6 collectively demonstrated that all 6 of the core values from the Department of Interdisciplinary and Teaching. The American culture is changing in all possible aspects, politically, ethically, socially. Students are experiencing a world much different than the older generations. These changes have directly impacted the education system. As a behavioral analyst, I will serve a very diverse population. This population will include people of different genders, race, sexualities, ethnicities, and religions. Having the ability to effectively deliver a comprehensive treatment plan in relation to diversity is incredibly important. It is paramount that therapists and educators alike create a representative, safe place for each student and client. Our services will be obsolete if we cannot adequately communicate clearly to everyone we serve. I would encourage parents to continue to speak their primary language at home if their children are bilingual. I will have treatment plans translated for parents whose first language is not English or are blind. I will incorporate assistive technological devices during therapy sessions and hopefully have open correspondence with others on the child's team so that I may effectively integrate these suggestions within therapy sessions as well. The final objective assessed how key foundational theories address diverse learners in modules 5 and 6. The critical reflection for each of these modules have been previously stated. However, the module artifacts for both modules 5 and 6 were significant activities that assisted in making connections between the objectives and the readings. The Module 5 artifact for my personal group was based on the creation of a math baseball game application. This application was relating to the learning theories introduced in the 5th module that included situated learning and constructionism. We all know everyone learns differently within different learning environments. As a behavioral analyst, I wish to integrate teaching methods that incorporates creativity, hands-on experimentation, and technology. Technology is rapidly becoming the language of the new generations. They operate their whole lives behind scenes in digital interfaces. I believe it is imperative to incorporate therapy with what the generation of the adolescents connect to. For the Module 6 artifact, my group decided to create a PowerPoint about LGBTQ students in the middle school district. In the future, no matter what environment I choose to work in, whether it be a clinic, school district, hospital, or in-home therapy, I want to make every space an inclusive and open atmosphere. I want everyone from all walks of life to feel comfortable. For my clients who identify as LGBTQT or any other minority that I am not familiar with, I will have referrals to other therapists and counselors for whom my clients may speak with or even receive services from. My first and foremost concern is the client and their willingness to work with me. If there are any barriers that I cannot resolve on my own, I will be happy to assist them in actively finding out solutions in other areas. This course has truly given me a knowledgeable foundation for my future as a behavioral analyst. I was challenged to analyze and evaluate my own perspectives as well as learning new material from the assigned readings and from my peers. I will be able to take all that I have learned throughout this course and apply it to my future courses in my journey towards my master's in special education.